Australian rules football, ESPN. The modern-day gladiators battle on the green fields down under. This is pure adrenaline. This is greatness. This is Australian rules football.
Welcome back to Revealed. We're talking ESPN today, and let me come back to you. What is it about Caribbean? What's the connection with the US and Caribbean?
I'll take you down the memory lane in terms of me and my job and my connection to the company really short. I've been with the company since the beginning, as we've talked about. I worked in Asia for 10 years, lived in Hong Kong, have had assignments all over the world. After I returned from my assignment in Hong Kong, the question was, well, what do you do next? And there was an opportunity in our company where we realized there are certain areas in the world which large corporations may or may not have a coherent strategy for. So we sat around the table, and from an international point of view, it was decided maybe we should sit down and take a hard look at the Caribbean and figure out and approach it differently. We had launched a few networks there, we had done some things, but what were we really doing to service the sports fan in the Caribbean who cared? So I was given an assignment, and I set about with the team that I had to come up with a strategy. And the strategy was very simple. Everybody knew the ESPN brand, incredibly familiar with it, but they didn't know ESPN. If they had an idea, if they had a desire to be connected to a network, well, who do you pick up the phone and call? And so that was the first step for me. It was visiting, it was spending time with people and understanding culturally, so how can we serve you? That story I mentioned about the cricket was a classic evolution of that. It was, some people say some things are no-brainer. Well, they only are no-brainers to people after we become successful. And our connection from the Caribbean and the journey from Caribbean here to Ghana is one that's very historical. At first you asked why, and then all of a sudden the light bulb goes on. You go, there is a strong bond with diaspora, period. And if I serve the Caribbean correctly, part of that journey is to tell that story and be really part of that connection. So that's what we set about doing 4 years ago.
Okay. Now let me come in here. One of your biggest customers or fans is Africa.
Okay.
What are you doing for the people of Africa? Because we watch a lot of ESPN stuff. What are your sports? A lot of them. What is the plan apart from Caribbean? What's the plan for Africa?
Well, I think it's probably more appropriate for me to speak to the trip in Ghana and West Africa in relationship to our company, because there is a whole business. There's a whole group of people who services ESPN in Africa. But my journey here is a little bit different. It really is the idea that, like the Caribbean, Ghana has a lot of great stories, very compelling stories. The question is are you getting that out there? Is it being told in a way that, from an international point of view, you can be proud of? The reason that I've used that as a strategy is that's the strategy we use in the Caribbean. Okay. It was, people always ask, well, why are the Jamaicans very good at track, or why is athletics so good? Well, it's not magic. I mean, everybody tries to come up with these great theories. Well, the theory is very simple. From the time a child is young enough, and because everyone is into it and very passionate about track, that child is set on a course for success with coaches and trainers. That's not necessarily something with athletics in many countries. If you look in Ghana, what I'm very happy to do in terms of thinking through the connection is boxing. And I had an opportunity last night to go to Bochum. And it was an amazing journey for me to realize just how passionate and important boxing is. And that everybody are very proud about the fact that if you want to talk about a fighter from Ghana, this is where you bring in the developing ground for that. I actually got a chance to meet one of the current champions, Bochum Banku. Yeah. Got a chance to meet him last night.
Interesting character.
He is, and certainly one who is very, very, very passionate about serving his community. For me, as a sports person, and that's what's interesting as part of this. Those are the stories that we as ESPN like to tell, period. and that it is the kind of journey connection with the Caribbean. I know that you want me to give you a greater Africa story, but I have found that if you can concentrate on one thing, tell one set of stories well, it elevates everyone. So that's why we're doing it here.
The passion, though, you mentioned boxing, that you went to Bukum to see Bukum Banku and other places you visited. Here in Ghana, the passion is soccer, first of all, before probably...
As it is in most of the world.
Yes. But aside these sporting disciplines you've seen, any other ones you think ESPN will be interested in, that you've seen that you can tap in?
Well, let me offer a more focused look at what we hope to accomplish.
Yeah.
I'm here because we wanted to present to the various sporting bodies, the media organizations, and individuals like yourself, and to the general sports fan in Ghana, that we want to bring a show that we run in the Caribbean called ESPN FC.
Good.
That show goes on the road all over the world, and especially all over the Caribbean. And we've taken it to the UK, we've taken it to South Africa for the World Cup. It has gone to Australia. So the idea was, because football is so important, and much success to the Black Stars, so that they get year 3 of being in the World Cup. It is, let's take that as a starting slice. That show has been used because football is so important to start telling messaging stories and start offering up why people are successful and what's going on with the culture. So if we can figure a way to make the journey to Ghana, which is really what the presentation was about, if we can figure a way to make the journey to Ghana, then in return what happens is we spend some time here. Our reporters talk to the audience, which is our world audience, about what goes on here. And it's not just about football, although football is the headliner, as you said. There's other things about sport and lifestyle which go on here that I'm sure people in the Caribbean and other parts of the world would be interested in. To me, there's always a natural lift, because your curiosity about things is just like mine. You make me curious enough, I just might get on a plane and come here. So we do want to tell the whole story. And I think by telling that story to our global audience, there's a benefit there. It's not that we're saying that we're this great self-serving company, but at the same time we're a company that like telling stories, and that's been part. You asked about the success for us, and that's been it. People can count on, when they turn on the tube, what they're going to get is a enriched and rewarding and knowledgeable understanding of different parts of the world. And I dare say that part of the success here is that you know things about the sporting world globally through us that you may not have known.
Exactly.
And that's what we want to do for Ghana.
And that's the main reason why I'm asking these questions, because I watch your channel. I see a lot of sporting disciplines. How do you identify them? How do you say, look, let's go to this area? It's a small interest group there, but look, we can make it.
I think the best way to do is to take you through the thought process in the Caribbean that we did with 2 projects. One was the Tobago cycling. Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago, as you know, is a very tiny island which is an extension of Trinidad. But what they've been able to do is to attract the attention of USC, the International Cycling. If I'm saying track, I meant cycling. The International Cycling, right? They attracted their attention. And so they not only attracted their attention, they became an official stop on the tour at the very beginning. This tiny island. And I think their success came from for 28 years, there were a small team of people banging away, trying hard to get the attention, trying to make this be worthy of international exposure. But when I heard the story, that to me is where you offer your support. And so we formed a team with them. They managed to get a little support financially and sponsorship from the tourism board, and we began covering that event. And so this is our 3rd year coming up. And what has happened is, what we bring is the part of ESPN we're proud of most. We're very good at telling a story. We're very good at the production value. We really make an event respectful. And so what we did was we covered it. We did an hour show, a half hour the first year, and we've done an hour telecast, and it turns out to be a marvelous show. and it's being seen all over Europe and in different parts of the world where cycling is interesting. If the ESPN network group was not there, we actually were delivering it to free-to-air so that we could actually help with that exposure. Now there are people who understand that if I'm into cycling, guess what? Maybe I'll go to Tobago, and part of that was explaining where Tobago is, for instance,
right,
and what did they do there. A similar story I'll give you, and I'll try to keep it concise, but for St. Martin. There's a regatta in St. Martin that happens every year, and it was happening for 30 years. A major regatta that was sponsored by Heineken. The whole country was just basically behind making this a very big success. It offered a very strong economic base. Without this event, you know, people would miss it from an economic standpoint. But there was no international television coverage. And when I saw it and we went through it, there were 1,500 sailors from around the world coming, 200 boats. It was a magnificent event. And to be honest, I keep telling people this, the Caribbean is nothing but water, so we probably should figure out what to do to cover something that's on the water.
Exactly.
And so we covered the event. And over the past couple of years, again, it's been one of those events that we've been able to demonstrate to people in the region that we are there to serve and tell the story. And it has just led to a very strong comfort level, I think, for people in the Caribbean to look at us differently than they did 4 years ago.
And obviously you're here to bring the same experience to Ghana, and we're looking forward to what ESPN will do for the people of Ghana, and working with ESPN here. It's been wonderful talking to you, because you've given us a lot of revelations into ESPN, people behind the scenes who do not know exactly what goes on there. And, thank you so much. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you. Good. I've been speaking to Bernard Stewart, is the Vice President and General Manager, ESPN Caribbean and Maritime Media. Obviously, ESPN is in Ghana. They are here actually to look at exactly what they can do. They have the Caribbean experience, and obviously they are bringing that one here to see exactly what they can do for the people of Ghana. It's been wonderful coming your way. My name is Nana Kwekuda. Remember, this show is brought to you by MTN everywhere you go. Next week, we'll be back with another personality. Bye-bye.